What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another very exciting video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at Palantir and their most recent earnings announcement. They came out with their numbers a little over a week ago, and what I want to do is I want to break down some of the numbers behind the business and how they have changed quarter over quarter, especially their US commercial customer base, also their revenue, and where I see these going in the future. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. Let's start off by taking a look at Palantir's stock chart and what has happened with the stock ever since this earnings release. We can see here today that the stock is down 1%. If we look over the last 5 days, it is down 1.2%. Over the last month, it is down 12%. And if we see right into earnings, the stock was running up fairly significantly, but from the highs here of this month to where we're trading at now, the stock is down almost 25%. However, if we look year to date, we can see that the stock is up almost 140%. And there are really two ranges that have been formed over the last year. We can see that one range is anywhere from around $7 up to around $8.50. The other range happened from May onward, where the stock went on this tremendous run up and has really been trading in this range between $14 all the way up to $20. Palantir reported their earnings back on August 7th, and they came in with inline expectations for both EPS and revenue. They came in with 5 cents reported for EPS, and revenue came in at $533.3 million. Before we jump into Palantir's official numbers, I did want to point out that they are still very much a government-funded business. They're getting a lot of their revenue from the US government as well as international governments. And right now, 57% of their total sales is made up by government revenue. They also just signed a new contract with the US Special Operations Command worth up to $463 million. And their fastest growing area right now is international government revenue, which increased 31% to $76 million. Let's go ahead and take a look at their official report, and I'm going to jump back and forth between their Q1 and their Q2 report. So here we're looking at their Q2 report, what they just came out with on August 7th, and we can see their GAAP earnings per share came in at 1 cent of positive EPS, their adjusted EPS came in at positive 5 cents, and their total revenue came in at $533 million, which is up 13% year over year. So if we jump back and look at Q1 numbers, these were announced back in May 8th of this year, and we can see that GAAP earnings came in at the same as Q2. Adjusted EPS also came in the same as Q2. Overall, that is good to see them continuing positive EPS. However, the little bit of concern that I have is their revenue. The revenue for Q1 came in at $525 million, which obviously we've seen a slight increase in revenue from Q1 to Q2, with them reporting $533 million in Q2. However, the amount of growth that we're seeing year over year seems to be slowing. In Q1, we saw 18% growth. In Q2, we're only seeing 13% growth year over year. Jumping back to their Q2 earnings report, we could see that their commercial revenue grew 10% year over year to $232 million, and their US commercial revenue grew 20% year over year to $103 million. If we jump back and look at the Q1 results for these numbers, we can see that commercial revenue grew 15% year over year to $236 million, and US commercial revenue grew 26% year over year to $107 million. So both of these numbers are a little bit concerning, because when we look at the Q1 numbers compared to Q2, we could see that they are declining in terms of the amount of growth that they're experiencing year over year, as well as the total amount of revenue that they're generating. However, even with the revenue slightly declining, they are still growing their US commercial customer count. They have grown to 161 US commercial customers in Q2 of 2023. This compares to 119 commercial customers in Q2 of 2022. And if we compare that to their Q1 numbers, we could see that they had 155 US commercial customers in Q1. So they have grown this number by 6 commercial customers over the last quarter. And it's never a bad thing to have the US government as one of your main customers. We can see that government revenue grew 15% year over year to $302 million, and international government revenue grew 31% year over year to $76 million. And quarter over quarter, this growth has slowed a little bit. We can see that in Q1, they grew 20% year over year to $289 million. However, the total amount of revenue is still growing in this sector. And I think the government base is more a strong base for Palantir to build off of. I don't think it's as important for their growth thesis as the commercial customer base. There was also a huge announcement that came out during Palantir's earnings. The board of directors has authorized a stock repurchase program of up to $1 billion. And overall, I think this is a great thing for the stock moving forward. Being able to repurchase your shares returns value to shareholders because they now own a larger portion of the company. And with the dip that we are seeing now, this could actually be a very good opportunity for Palantir to buy back some of their shares as the stock price has dropped over 20% in just the last couple of weeks. The repurchasing of shares also has a positive impact on EPS numbers. And for 2023, the average EPS estimate is 23 cents. There's a low estimate of 21 cents and a high estimate of 25 cents. And if we look over the last 30 days, we can see that there have been 13 revisions up to these numbers. And over the last 7 days, there have been 2 revisions up. So in my opinion, this isn't the best earnings release. I think they came in line with what people were really expecting, but I do want to see them continue to grow their US commercial customer base. It is a bit concerning for CARP to come out and talk about the fact that they were getting 12 times as many calls per month as they were a year ago, and we haven't seen that directly translate into their commercial customer base. That is their biggest growth vector moving forward. It's good for them to have a solid US government base to really rely on, but to get to that next level and continue tremendous amounts of growth, they really need to bring in a lot of commercial customers, and that is something they were lacking this quarter. So I want to keep an eye on that in the future, but overall, keep in mind, do not buy a company just because some random guy on YouTube talked about it. Make sure you are doing your own research and looking into companies that meet your risk tolerance as well as your time horizon. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.